Jaden Springer has always been a prospect that I have been higher on than the consensus. In high school, most recruiting sites had him ranked in the mid-teens. I thought he was a top 10 prospect in that class easily. During the draft process, many have him ranked in the 7 to 14 range, and well, either based off the title of this video or what you'll see in a few moments, you can tell how high I am on him as a prospect. There's a lot to like about Jaden Springer when it comes to him as a draft prospect, and I want to give you at least a few reasons why I'm so high on him. But before we get into today's video, I've noticed that about 78% of you guys that watch my videos happen to not be subscribed. So if you like basketball and you happen to fall into that 78%, and you like my content as well, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos that take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. I also make videos that really talk about NBA draft prospects and high school prospects. So if you're into either of those things, this is the channel for you. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so doing all those things would be a big help to me. Also, let's try to get this video to 100 likes so YouTube will recommend it to others. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Jaden Springer is my number 3 draft prospect in the 2021 NBA draft. He is a freshman who plays college basketball for the Tennessee Volunteers. He's somebody that, like I mentioned in the intro, I am significantly higher on than most. I know there are a few that are also as high on him as I am, but there aren't many. And I do understand why it is a bit shocking, or why you would disagree with me having him this high. But trust me, I do have my reasons. He was born on September 25th of 2002. His hometown is Charlotte, North Carolina. He played his first 2 years of high school basketball at Rocky River High School in Mint Hill, North Carolina. And of course, he played his final 2 years of high school at IMG Academy. In his junior year at IMG, he was, in my opinion, the best player on a team that won Geico Nationals. And he was somebody that during that stretch that they made it to Geico Nationals and won it, he was the leading scorer, and he was playing with 3 McDonald's All-Americans and another highly rated point guard at the time, and plenty of guys that were highly ranked that were coming off the bench. So that's pretty impressive for someone that was only 16 years old at the time. Jaden Springer is also a shooting guard, point guard type. He's definitely the definition of a combo guard. He stands at 6'4", weighs 204 pounds, and I don't know the exact measurement, but the last time I did check, and the measurement that is used the most is that he does have a 6'6" wingspan, so this does give him size to play both guard spots. In his freshman season at Tennessee, Jaden Springer averaged 12.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, 2.9 assists per game, 1.2 steals per game, 0.4 blocks per game. He would shoot 46.4% from the field on 9.1 field goal attempts, 43.5% from 3 on 1.8 3-point attempts, and 81% from the free throw line on 4 free throw attempts with a 57% true shooting percentage. He was also named to the SEC All-Freshman team. When it comes to Jaden Springer and his strengths, the first one that stands out is obviously his age. He's a year younger than projected top 5 picks Jalen Suggs, Cade Cunningham, and Evan Mobley. He's also younger than the top 2 guys according to ESPN in the 2021 high school recruiting class, Chet Holmgren and Jaden Hardy. Other than that, he has a good size that allows him to play both guard spots. He uses his physicality to his advantage. He draws fouls at a decent rate, especially given the context of the team around him. He's a good passer with a chance to improve a lot in that regard. I definitely think he's somebody that's a better passer than the numbers suggest. Has good shot selection, flashes good spot up shooting, although it does need work, but the flashes are encouraging. He's somebody that has great lateral quickness on defense. He's a really good perimeter defender, uses his physicality, and has a great basketball IQ on that end of the floor. Has a great motor on defense in general, does the little things, he'll make the hustle plays, he just makes winning basketball plays. And I think the most impressive thing for me is that he found a way to be productive despite not playing in an ideal situation that benefited his skill set. I don't think he got nearly enough on-ball reps as he should have. Like, somebody of his talent should have gotten way more on-ball reps than he got at Tennessee. So the system just really wasn't a good fit for him. But I also think that him being willing to play in that offense and play within the offense really is telling about his mindset and his really being a good teammate, I would say. You know, I don't know the guy personally, I don't know people that have been around him a lot, but the fact that he was willing to play within that offense despite it not benefiting his skill set, you know, really tells me he's a good teammate. I also think that's something that's very evident from his IMG Academy tape. He was somebody that probably was the best player on that team, but was also willing to play within the offense, knowing that there were seniors that were ahead of him, that even though they weren't better, that they did have seniority and they also were highly ranked, and he was willing to play within that offense. And I have heard in an interview from IMG's head coach that, you know, Jaden Springer is just a great competitor and he's a great teammate as well. So, you know, I don't know how to take that, but based off how I watch him play, I definitely think that IMG's head coach is backed up by, you know, the tape that we have. When it comes to Jaden Springer's weaknesses, one that stands out is his lack of explosiveness as a guard. Not the most explosive guard prospect in the world, to say the least, especially compared to some of these other guys in the draft. He's somebody that, well, he does have physicality to make up for that lack of explosiveness. The fact that he doesn't finish above the rim often, if at all, has led to some finishing problems where he's missed some easier layups than you might expect from a prospect of his caliber. Again, he does make up for it with his physicality, but it is still something to note. Also, doesn't take a lot of threes. He only took, again, like 2 threes a game. Even if the numbers look good, he didn't take a lot of them. That is something I do think was in part due to the offense he played in, but at the same time, you know, it is something to know that he didn't take a lot of threes. I do think he projects to be at least an average 3-point shooter because his free throw numbers were solid, and the fact that when he did get open looks, he was hitting them, and he certainly can hit 3-pointers, but definitely operates more from the mid-range. And to be a guard now, you know, you have to be somebody that takes threes. You can't always operate from the mid-range unless you're super special from that area. And while Springer's solid from the mid-range, he's not like special enough to operate from there consistently, so he will need to start taking more threes. Needs to expand his offensive scoring package as well, add some moves to his repertoire. I definitely think that is something that could take his game to the next level. Average wingspan, not the biggest concern, 6'6" wingspan, but given how good and how skilled he is, I don't think it's too much of a problem. Does have some turnover problems as well, and some foul discipline problems, but those are just something I kind of put on the notes. There's something that a lot of freshmen struggle with, so it's not too concerning, especially considering the system that he played in, and playing in a system he wasn't used to. So I don't really put too much stock into those type of things. Jaden Springer, in my opinion, is one of the best players in this draft. I have him ranked number 3, which is way higher than most. And I know because I'm way higher on him, it's gonna seem like I'm crazy for having him this high because it's not the norm per se, and it's okay to disagree. I actually don't expect many to agree with me on this, and it's totally understandable. However, for me, the fact that he was really good despite not playing in a system that benefited his skill sets is so encouraging. He's a good defender, he's a good passer, and I think he's an okay scoring prospect with a chance to grow in that regard. His defense and passing, in my opinion, make him a high floor prospect, and I think that he has so much room to grow as a scorer because he's just so young, and there's this the sky's the limit in that regard in general with him. You know, I think the fact that he's this good already, despite being a year younger than some of these other top-ranked prospects, and even a bunch of months younger than a lot of these freshmen or G League Ignite prospects, is very encouraging. And it's not a knock against any of those other prospects that are older than him, because being born between late July and December, and being a year older than others in your class is very common, and it's not really an issue for me at all. But if anything, it just shows me how impressive Jaden Springer is, that he's a pro prospect when others that are around his age and born around the same time that he is are still in high school. And I think that's something that's very telling. And not only because he's young, it's not just about the age, it's the fact that he's already this physically mature at this young of an age. The fact that he's this skilled and has this level of basketball IQ and this level of a motor and defensive IQ at this young of an age, when others, again, that are around his age tend to be in high school, and he's already someone that can go like top 10, top 5 in the draft, is impressive. I am hoping the best for Jaden Springer. I hope he proves me right, and even if he doesn't, I'll still be rooting for him, because he's just one of my favorite players in this draft. He's a very easy guy to root for because of how much you can just tell he loves the game. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about Jaden Springer and why I believe he's a top 3 guy in this draft. But that is the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. Again, try to get this video to 100 likes so YouTube will recommend it to others. And let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think about Jaden Springer? Are you as high as I am on him? Are you lower? Where do you have him ranked? How good do you think he is? How good do you think he can be? I would love to know all stuff like that in the comment section below. I know a lot of people won't agree with me on this because it's definitely an out there take, but it's just how I feel. I'll be quite honest with you when it comes to him being this high. It's just a feeling. I just trust a lot of the stuff that I've seen from him on tape. I trust what I've seen from the stats, given the context and things like that. So yeah, just let me know that stuff in the comment section below. Again, thank you for watching and have a nice day.